Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 117th episode, I think, of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here with me, we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and 2022 buddy.
My God.
Frederick.
I feel like that was my introduction last time.
Yeah, note, in the next episode, which was recorded before this one, I will also introduce him as my New Year's buddy. My January the 3rd.
My January the 3rd. Also, I like the introduction when he said, I think this is the Poorly Planned Podcast?
No. I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I have, many a podcasteroo.
You do have...
BHL's Movie Hour, which has currently been suspended indefinitely.
Due to legal reasons that I cannot talk about.
So, it's the new year, and it's a new us. Not really. It's the exact same thing we always have done for 4 years. But you know what? It's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a good year.
We're going to have a pod every week. I'm putting us to it, unless one of us gets deathly ill and or has to climb a mountain or something. But then we would pre-record pods.
No, exactly. Or we'll record on the mountain or in death.
Or the last thing one of us will record on our deathbed will be the Cnews.
I do want my last words to be on the pod. No matter what they are. Make that happen. Right now.
You just have a crazed look in your eye? No, knock on wood, we wish for good health. Anyway.
I knock.
So today we're going to kick off the year in the most exciting fashion possible.
Something special? Something unique?
A mini reviews and news episode. Let's go.
Amazing.
So, by the way, subscribe.
One little sneaky plug. Very subtle. By the way, sub to my channel. Is this both mini reviews and news?
Damn right it is. I told you it was a special episode. God damn. And we're doing the announcements and such today.
The fans will love it.
They better. Otherwise, rumbly tum.
If they don't like it, rumbly tum is what I curse them with.
It is a horrible, horrible disease to have, I imagine. The rumbly tum. You must annoy everyone wherever you go.
Especially podcasters.
You f***ing asshole. Anyway, we're going to be talking... We're going to be speaking to each other. It's way too early in the year for me to be broken on the pod. It's literally 5 minutes of the first episode. Anyway, we're going to be talking Hawkeye. We're going to be talking The Matrix 4. Don't Look Up. Other things and Newses. The Batman.
Newses.
Uncharted. No Way Home. Michael Keaton. Dr.
Keaton.
Dr. Keaton. What was he called? Mr. Doctor. Damn it. And
Doctor, what's his name?
More updates on the Dwayne Diesel beef?
I have seen there's been a bit of a
scandal.
There's been a bit of an outbreak.
Yeah. So the latest virus, Dwayne Sadness, arguably much more potent and terrifying
than any other disease. So,
anyway, first of all, I have divided my mini reviews here into speed rounds, where basically just a one sentence quick thing, and then ones that probably people want to hear us talk a little more about, especially Community.
Okay,
and,
nice.
You can throw in what. But so I thought I'd just go through the speed rounds quickly first, and then I might let you talk.
That sounds like a plan.
I'm feeling generous. First of all, Enchanted. I watched that with the family.
Is that the new?
It's from 2004, maybe?
Enchanted.
It's Amy Adams. She's in a cartoon Disney World, and then she falls into the real world, and then she's live action. It's an amazing movie, one of my favorites. I'm sure you've seen it.
I don't think I have.
She falls in love with...
This sounds like a Space Jam kind of situation.
It's so... Yeah,
it sounds worse than Space Jam.
It is an iconic children's film that I, for some reason, still enjoy to this day, because I never really grew up.
Because I never really had a childhood.
Anyway, it's really good.
Anyways, I love it.
We had a lot of fun. I watched it with my family. It's a delightful time. UFC 269 happened a while ago. Just want to say, great card.
I don't think we've still not properly talked about this,
No, which is... So Dustin lost on my birthday. First thing I saw on my birthday. So that was good. That was a good start.
Did he get knocked out?
No, he got submitted in the third round. And I have never been more ashamed to have exactly predicted a fight correctly. I have on my verdict app where I put Charles Oliveira third round submission. I felt like an asshole putting it, but I got so many verdict points for that.
But I got so much money. Do those verdict points count for anything?
No.
Just the prestige.
Okay. Yeah. just literally the only source of my happiness.
Just literally the only thing that keeps me going.
But then, and we have to just talk about this briefly, the co-main event, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. Did you see what happened here?
Did Amanda Nunes get knocked out?
She didn't get knocked out. She also got submitted. But her losing, especially to Juliana Pena, is probably the biggest upset in the whole...
I was going to say, because she's the one we saw.
We watched her, yeah.
And she's like the baddest woman on the planet.
Well,
no?
she like completely...
She might just be bad.
Got her.
Boom.
This multiple-time champion.
She might just not be worth it anymore.
No, yeah,
you tell I've got a big respect for you.
So what we watched her just completely like bulldoze through that person.
Who's that? It's like some Australian girl.
Yeah, and that's basically what she's done to everyone, like top level competition, which is why she's like the greatest female fighter ever. And Juliana Pena, no disrespect, but is very much not the greatest. Like she won her last fight and then she lost the one before that. Like she has a 1-fight winning streak.
That was her third fight.
No, I mean she's had lots of fights in the UFC, but like she doesn't have a big winning streak. She's lost a bunch of fights. Like she's very much. It seemed like just another kind of like sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, just another stepping stone.
And she beat her, and it was legitimately the most shocked I've ever been in my life.
And that includes when I sawed off my own leg accidentally.
No, like at a sporting event, I have never, because I watched it after I'd watched most of the other fights, because I was like, whatever, like it's gonna be,
Apart from all the lacrosse games you go to.
That is fucking terrifying.
That is wild.
But so I was like, whatever, I'll just watch it. And I just sat down, I was like, yeah, imagine if this was the one, like just fucking like that'd be so ridiculous. And when it happened, I was just sitting there like with my mouth open for like
drooling onto my lap. Oh my god.
Like 5 minutes. It was unbelievable. So
damn, Amanda.
Crazy stuff. It was crazy to see it like live. So they'll probably do a rematch.
Yeah, surely. And then Amanda will probably come back and just absolutely demolish her.
Probably, yeah. But it was also, I mean, like Juliana Pena seems nice enough, but I'm not like a huge fan. But it was such a sweet moment just to see someone like completely, like literally no one gave her a chance at all. Like,
what was her winning chance there?
She was like a plus like 700 underdog, which is like you bet 100.
Yeah, you get 700 back.
Yeah, which is like crazy. So hey, that was amazing. So it's what we love, the sport of mixed martial arts. Both of us clearly love it with the same degree. Obsession.
Yeah, exactly. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. She's bad.
Man, she sucks, doesn't she?
Man, she should not be champion.
I could beat her up.
Do you think you could beat her up?
No. Are you kidding me?
If she was asleep?
If she was asleep? If she had died?
Do you think you could land a hit?
Then It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, 2 Grinches, double the Grinch, I say.
The Tinch?
The Tinch. I don't like that.
I don't like it either. It feels like something dirty.
Yeah, and the Charlie Brown Christmas special. Just all the stuff that I watched on Christmas, around Christmas with the family. It was delightful. And I would say, first time watching the new The Grinch.
The new The Grinch?
An exclusive
or the nude Grinch.
I mean, technically he is, if you think about it.
If you really want it to happen.
If you really think deeply for hours about it.
I'm sure you get him naked in your mind.
But the Illumination one, which I thought was going to be really whatever, and it was actually pretty delightful and a pretty good homage to the... Because, they did the Lorax as well, and it's kind of like... sort of a bastardization of like everything the Lorax is about, and it's sort of just like a weird, not funny, gross, disgusting, horrible movie that I want to makes me want to die.
Oh no!
They put that on the DVD front cover.
Before you watch this, will make you want to die.
No, it's fine, but it's sort of like whatever.
Yeah.
This one was actually, it kind of captured the spirit in a way, and
it
was quite delightful. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. Watched 21 Jump Street, just a super fun movie.
Classic, we know it.
Power of the Dog.
Now, why is this in the one sentence reviews?
Well,
I think we could spend 6 episodes talking about the power of the dog.
In parentheses, dog.
Dog is the
directed by Dog.
The power of the dogs in this as well.
The power of the...
Wait, so is Cumberbatch the dog?
No. Yes, he voices an animatronic dog.
No, I know there's not a dog, but is he what people would call the dog?
Is he just an absolute animal?
Is he just the hound of the movie?
No.
Who's the dog then?
It's at the spoiler alert at the end. It's not really a spoiler. There's a reference to some, I believe, Bible verse where they say something, the power of the dog. I don't know. I don't remember right now. It was really clever and poignant, probably.
So Jesus is the dog.
I don't feel comfortable leaning either way on that, but it was a very good film. Yeah, super, well acted, dramatic.
Sorry, I just saw the next line.
Well, then, yeah, moving on. We have Training Day, one of my dad's favorites. We watched it together, and great film. Have you seen it?
I don't know. If it's got Snoop Dogg and Terry Crews in it, then no.
Yeah, really good film that I noted only it contains Snoop Dogg and Terry Crews. But it was just a very, like, Snoop Dogg, he has kind of a, like, decent part. He's this drug dealer or something that they stop. But then just in the background, I was like, wait a minute, who's that enormous, like, hunk of a man? I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, it's Snoop Dogg.
Anyway, Training Day, great film. Denzel, Ethan Hawke.
Nice. Okay.
Do you have some speed rounders, or do you have all...
It's all 20-minute reviews. I forget if I talked about this already on the pod, but I don't think I have. I watched Nightcrawler.
Ooh, a little bit of the Jill?
With old Jill?
A little bit of the stinky boy?
A little bit of a stank lord in it?
We've established
he's not.
bathe, but
He does clean himself occasionally.
He gets in
whether
the
that
crevices.
be with shower or lickage, we don't know.
If there's any celebrity you can imagine, like, cat style cleaning themselves,
It'd be him.
it'd be Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg cleaning
Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Matt, never mind.
No,
I was gonna say something. Never mind.
We're good.
Okay, genuinely a very, very good movie. A
Yeah.
very disturbing Gyllenhaal performance. Have you seen it?
I have, yeah.
Yes. So you know of the stank that is the Gyllenhaal.
It was a while ago, though, so I can't really remember, like...
Well, so he's like a petty thief, but like he's short on money, and then he decides to go and film crime/accident scenes, like basically like paparazzi of that thing, but like to a very, very disturbing level where he'll discover bodies before the police, and he'll like put them in certain positions so like it gives better footage. It's like Gyllenhaal. He blackmails people. It's very dark, but also very, very, very intense movie. I like it.
Yeah, it was a good, like, I guess you'd call that a thriller. Like, it's not a horror movie, but it's very disturbing.
It is very, very disturbing to see.
And as much as we meme him, Gyllenhaal,
a great actor,
one of the best, you have to say. Yeah, I think modern era, like, who I think of, like, Gyllenhaal, DiCaprio, Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg. Speaking of the greatest actors of all time, Jeremy Renner and Hawkeye.
Jack and Hawkeye.
He's kind of nutty, I'm not gonna lie.
I've only seen 2 episodes.
It's so, like, I don't know, I feel so
dirty
for just thinking about Jack's mustache. No, it's like, I just feel, because I said in one of the videos, I was like, you know, they're setting him up very obviously to be the bad guy, and I kind of, the way I say it, like, I'm sort of saying, like, so there should be another twist to it because it's so obvious, but it doesn't really come across that way, and maybe I didn't even mean that way, so I look so dumb because it's so obvious that he's a red herring, and the mom is, and no offense to this woman, the most evil looking human being.
She does look quite evil.
Okay, not most evil, but like she looks like a twist villain. You know what I mean?
Isn't she also the villain in the Hunger Games?
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
But she looks like someone who is just pretending to be nice, and then it turns out they're the bad guy. And everything's
so what happens? Tell me what happens, because I'm not really gonna watch this, but I want to know what happens.
Well, we need to talk about. We talked a little bit about it, but the Fiskaroo. But so spoilers for Hawkeye. Basically, it turns out Kate Bishop's mom is working with the Fisk. It pulls off the mask. I'm like, I knew she looked evil. And then so she's working with the Fiskaroo. And as she refers to him, excuse me, Fiskaroo.
Fiskaroo, I need some dollaroo. I can imagine Jack say that.
He's very nutty. I really like him. But yeah, he's just some dork. Like at the end, he's just some nerd with a sword who just is like loving life.
Is that it? Is he not like some like hinted superhero at the end, or is he just some dude who likes a sword?
He's probably someone from the comic, and they do a thing with Hawkeye's wife. She was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but probably not a fucking boring one like all the ones we met on that show. No offense. It was a pretty good show for a little bit, I guess. No, sorry. I know people like that show, but it sucked.
Immediately backtracked. Like all the other boring ones. Sorry, I know people love it. It's a great show. I love Phil Coulson.
A mob appears, led by Clark Gregg. Clark Gregg, spelled Grgegg. Gregageg?
What do you say?
I don't know.
Gregageg.
Anyway, Hawkeye. So Fisk.
Clark Gregageg.
Fisk shows up, and he...
Wait, so I don't even remember. I thought Fisk was put away in Daredevil season 3. But he's out.
But the way they kind of say it, they like... I watched that scene from the end of Daredevil. By the way, such a good show. And when he's like, I beat you. So good.
I'll talk about that in a little bit.
I'm thinking of rewatching it as well. But in that he says, like, you'll go to jail for the rest of your life, and if you ever come near me and, my buddies again, I'll murder your wife. Pretty dark, Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
But, that's
what he does.
It's the Cox way. So I'm assuming he just...
Cox gonna do what Cox gonna do.
He got out, and then he just hasn't gone after Charlie and his assailants.
And now he's wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, which is a look from the comic, I guess, and it made me laugh, but
it made me laugh, but it's also, it seems like there's a bit of a personality shift.
Well, yeah,
because obviously he can't be as dark as he is in Daredevil, because it's a Jeremy Renner show. Who are we kidding? But it seems like not something he would wear.
Yeah, he shows up and he's still great, and like it's the same performance, and it was really cool to see. But then the way they handle him, I'm not trying to be that guy who's like, they did the property wrong, whatever. But I mean, it just like is kind of dumb. Like, he shows up and he fights Kate Bishop and they have a fight. It's kind of fun, but I mean,
and then she blows him up, but he survives.
Yeah, and he just keeps tossing her around. Like, he keeps throwing her. I'm like, the real Kingpin probably would have punched her skull clean in. Like, I'm just saying, I know we can't have that.
Do what you did to that Russian guy's head with the car door.
Imagine that's how the show ends with this fun Christmas adventure.
Hawkeye, and then she just the credits roll. You think she's won? Just hard cut to Kate's headless body and Kingpin just standing with blood on his Hawaiian shirt.
It's so dark, but honestly, would have been a more accurate ending. I'm just saying.
Like, there's no way Kate Bishop.
Like,
Haley Steinfeld. I love Haley Steinfeld. She's great.
Yeah.
But come on.
Also, shoot him in the fucking head. She has this arrow pointed at him. She shoots it into his chest and he, like, swipes it aside. It's like, shoot him in his giant bald head. Sorry. Knocks Mike over.
You wanted to shoot him in his fat bald head off of that.
And then at the end, he gets killed, supposedly, but he's going to come back maybe. I don't know. But it's just...
It seems weird to bring him back and then kill him after an episode.
Yeah.
Because he was only there for an episode, right?
I thought they were doing it because they sometimes do that where, like, they'll bring in an established character so a new character can beat them or kill them, so that shows how cool they are. By the way, that's my whole problem with the show, is it was just, especially the finale, it was so, like, all over the place. And it's like, it starts as this Hawkeye show about Kate Bishop and Jeremy Renner. Very fun. But then by the end, it's like, okay, now we got this storyline about Echo, this assassin who works with Kingpin. We got the Kingpin stuff. We got Yelena showing up.
She was there to kill Steinfeld or Hawkeye?
Hawkeye, because someone in Black Widow told her. But then also Kate Bishop's mom told her, which doesn't make sense. The whole Echo storyline, it really...
Who is Echo?
It's the deaf assassin who was raised by Kingpin, who shoots him at the end. Because they're making a spin-off show with her, and it just felt so shoved in there and not, I don't know, interesting. That's the thing. I don't give a flying... Okay, that's getting too aggressive.
I don't give two flying shits of a shit.
Like,
about...
At the end, they have this beautiful moment of she has to kill her best friend. It's like, this is so...
Wait, so she likes Kingpin?
No, the other best friend. Kingpin is not her best friend.
Just gonna say,
this dude from the mafia or whatever, who, like, they haven't written anything to make it interesting. It's so one note. It's so underwritten, and it's just like, and then they have this emotional moment, and like you're supposed to care because like there's swelling music and stuff. It's like, I don't give a shit about this. Like,
who is this? I still don't know who this Echo is. So she in the entirety of the show or what?
Yeah, well, like from episode 3 maybe. But the thing is, the whole show absolutely could have been cut down to a movie, and not even a long movie, like a 90-minute movie. It could have been a really fun. They could have put on Disney Plus a really fun Kate Bishop Hawkeye. You could have cut so much out of this. Like,
now, I wanna ask, how much Renner is actually in this? Because we've barely talked about him. Does he do anything?
He's in it a fair bit. Yeah, he's in. I mean, it's more a Kate Bishop show, I think, than a Renner show.
But so is she the new Hawkeye of the Avengers?
Well, at the end, she's like, I was trying to think of a name, and he was like, how about? And then it cuts to like title card Hawkeye. So she's probably gonna be
how about Fiscal Rooney?
But so she's probably gonna be the new Hawkeye. But I don't know. I know I've gone on my insane BHL rant as I usually do. I liked it overall. Like, it was fun, and the Kate...
But it was an Ant-Man kind of experience.
Probably worse. It was just like...
Oh, God. Jesus,
So
I'm
the
sorry.
worst experience you've ever had, times 2.
Times a billion.
No, it's like all the Kate and Renner stuff and the Christmas vibes were fun. And whenever they were doing Hawkeye stuff, when they have the final battle at the end, when they're shooting at the vans and when they're building arrows and stuff and having fun banter, even the emotional stuff was pretty solid between them. And then all this other stuff about the Mafia, about Echo, even the Kingpin stuff, who maybe in a movie could have been like a fun end-of-movie cameo, but like the way it was handled here was weird. But the Yelena stuff didn't need to be in there.
I saw she showed up and like started eating a bunch of macaroni.
Oh my god, that scene went for so long. That's the whole episode, is them just talking about fucking...
Macaroni.
Yeah, it's just...
Fucking macaroni.
One of Renner's many habits, I assume. But... I kind of like them together, Kate and Yelena, but also...
Because I saw so many compilations of Kate Bishop and Yelena being a comedic duo.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Okay, fine, I watched it.
Okay, fine, I love it.
Yeah, no, they're fun, but they're also... That whole thing felt a bit like...
Cringe?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I like her as Yelena, Florence Pugh. Something about either the performance...
That name still disturbs me a little bit.
Or like the fake accent... It makes it not work kind of for me. Like she's
all
fun,
the accents in the MCU
but when she's
that need to be Eastern European are awful.
It sounds like kind of when you're making like, this might be an oddly specific thing that only I can relate to, but like when you're making a movie or a play when you're a kid with like your friends, and then you have to do like a Russian accent, and then she's like, I'm here to kill Clint Barton, and it just takes me out. I'm like,
that was actually a very good one.
Thank you. Yelena, is that you?
Yaloons?
It's just like, it kind of takes away from like the cool badass moments where he's like, I'm going to murder you now.
But now I eat macaroni.
That was such a Christopher Walken impression.
I realized. Midway.
Now I eat macaroni.
I'm sorry. I am not a very good Russian.
He had this watch up his ass for 30 years, or whatever he says. Anyway, Hawkeye.
I apologize.
Overall, good vibes, I guess.
Can we get BHL review? I mean rating. We just gave the review.
Alright, so what do you think about it, though?
I have been listening the entire time.
You just went macaroni. I probably like a 7.8.
That's very close to Black Mass.
Why is that what you would judge it by? It's just way too overstuffed and just overall meh, even though it has pockets of really cool stuff.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
Do you have one?
Well, this should probably got in the quick one. Rewatching Daredevil currently. This is great. It's so good. I love it. I'm 4 episodes in, and goddamn, the fun buddy dynamic with him and Foggy still there. Or, I mean, it would be there because it's the beginning.
Somehow they've remastered it to put Foggy in the show. I don't know how.
Don't know how they got enough money to put that together, but just like going back to like kind of the roots before it got like very like that freaking dragon bones and stuff. Like just seeing him in the like still like struggling to beat up Turk Barrett. Like, back to the roots. It's just good.
And such a well written show too.
Yeah, just Fisk was just introduced looking at a big white painting.
Big white man looking at a big white painting. That's what
that's what the episode was called. So I wonder what will happen in this episode.
God, they gave it away in the title.
God damn it.
I was gonna rewatch Daredevil with my mom because we watched the Disney Plus shows, and so after we saw the Fiskaroo, and she was a bit confused, and I was like, he's much cooler than that, trust me. And so I was thinking,
I see how anyone who has not seen Daredevil would be a bit confused.
And so I was thinking we'd watch Daredevil. A, I'm leaving in a couple weeks, so that probably wouldn't work. But B, also I was thinking, how would you watch that with someone who has never seen the like Netflix stuff? Because then you have to watch Defenders to get season 3.
But I mean, you can just watch season 1 and 2, no?
Yeah, but season 3 is great. I want to also put the end in the story. But then if season 3 starts with him like in a fiery pit of death after a building falls on him, it's gonna be a little random,
little bit of a random Fiskaroo moment.
But so I don't know. I was thinking, if anyone, please,
if anyone's got any help,
if anyone has the answer out there for how you, because I don't think she particularly wants to sit through all of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage.
Yeah,
we're not even gonna mention the last one, the Fistaroo.
The Fiskaroo and the Fist. Do you think that never mind.
Let's not.
No.
Anyway, go ahead. Actually, no, it's my turn.
Anyways, speak your part. Actually, never mind. Screw you.
I have very much been watching Community lately. I was forced by gunpoint to get into it. No, I was just...
It's such a B-list show, though.
You've seen none of it!
I've seen 4 or 5 episodes.
I hate you.
Mikhail is he's like funny, but it's like, it's forgettable.
Okay, well, so when it starts, I thought it was just like another kind of New Girl, Parks and Rec, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like a very, normal sitcom show, except this one's in a community college and whatever. But it gets, I don't know if you've seen these episodes, but about like halfway through the first season,
it gets freaky.
Well, it gets really fucking weird, and they're like bizarre episodes after that, and it's very
weird. How?
Like a lot of different episodes are in completely different genres. So like there's one episode that's like an animated Christmas special. There's one episode where they're video game characters. There's one episode where like it's a Western, and then it's like a Star Wars movie, and then it's like like a war documentary. It's fucking like bizarre, but really
this sounds very just hallucinogenic.
It kind of is. And I was also
Is this your drug? Is Joel McHale how you get high?
Well, I watched a bunch of episodes after I got my booster, and I was not feeling good, and I was kind of in a bit of a fever dream state. And so watching this show, I was like, am I imagining this, or is this shit really happening?
Is that Abed dressed as a cowboy?
But it's really, really creative, and I don't know. I think it's the guy who made Rick and Morty who made it, so it kind of makes sense that it's like...
Is the guy who voices Rick and Morty?
And who created Rick and Morty as well.
Oh, is that the same dude?
Yeah, and it's very, very meta. It's very self-referential, but in like a very self-aware way. So it's not like it's just making references for the sake of it, but like it plays a lot into the comedy. It's just a fucking weird show, but I really like it. It's very funny.
Do you like it more than New Girl?
No, and that's the thing. Also, for the first 2 seasons, there's a bit of a problem where I guess
how far are you?
I'm at like the end of season 3. They're like. The thing is, they're not supposed to be, like, very, very likable, but a lot of episodes they're all so terrible. Like, they're all such assholes. Like,
they do see, like, Childish Gambino seems like...
He's nice.
He seems like the only nice person there.
Yeah, Troy and Abed are great, and, like, I guess Allison Brie, who I've been watching the show, like, religiously, and I can't remember her name, Annie, are, like, pretty good, but, like, everyone is so awful, and it's so... I was expecting it to have the same vibe of like New Girl, The Office, where like it's kind of a comfort show and you come back to these characters.
It doesn't seem like a comfort show.
And they're so horrible to each other sometimes that like it isn't. It kind of is. And there's some really sweet moments. The Christmas episode, the animated one, had me tearing up. I'm not gonna lie. Very sweet.
An animated Joel McHale episode.
So good. It's so sweet. But it's just like sometimes they're so awful that it's just like I don't know, yeah.
I've seen a clip of Abed being smooth. I don't know if you've gotten to that part yet.
I mean, he switches in and out of many different kind of characters.
Well, this is not really a spoiler, but like apparently he's like, it's probably not even an important thing, but I just saw it and that made me chuckle a little bit. Where like he seems like this very, very strange dude, and then all of a sudden he just switches into being a smooth player and almost makes out with one of the girls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Albert, I see you.
But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Very weird, very funny, and the characters are like they have that kind of like family feel to them as it goes. But sometimes or especially early on, they're so awful. Also, kind of hurts the show a bit that I knew about the backstory where one of the stars, Chevy Chase, the old guy in Community, who's also a very famous comedian from the 70s and 80s.
I think so.
He had a huge beef with like the creator, and he kept saying like how much he hated being on the show, and apparently he said some like racist remarks with like The Office and New Girl, how they're like all friends in real life. It kind of makes it feel a little weird when they all kind of didn't really like this one guy and he didn't really get along.
Not to ruin the magic here for you, but the reason that Ernie is not on as much is because there was creative differences.
I tried to look into that with my detective skills.
And it's bogus!
Well, I couldn't find anything on that, so I was...
That's just what I've been told.
By Damon Wayans Jr.
He called me.
Morden Morris, whatever he's called.
Morden Morris?
Lamorne Morris, isn't that his name?
Oh, Lamorne...
Fisk?
Lamorne Fisk.
Lamorne Bishop?
It's Lamorne something.
Oh my god, Bishop. I didn't even try to do that because I was trying to do a Kate Bishop, but it's Winston Bishop.
But it's Lamorne.
Let's fucking go.
Oh my god.
Anyway, enough about Community. Great show.
Not even talking about Community. Lamorne Bishop. Anyways, enough about Joel McHale.
He's great too. Everyone's so good in it. Anyway, I like it a lot.
I've watched the second season of The Witcher.
Oof.
Cavill on an adventure.
A little bit of a... Ooh,
that's a good Cavill. The show itself, I'm still a little bit confused about. Still don't know what's going on. Like, there's a lot of names being thrown around, and because I haven't played the games or read the books as much as other people, it's like is the kind of show that if you haven't played the games or read the books, you don't immediately understand everything that's going on, right? But it's a lot easier to follow than the first season, because the first season was just a lot of time jumps. Each episode was a time jump leading up to like him meeting with Ciri, and then now this entire. Are you gonna watch it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I won't spoil anything too much then, but like this entire season is like just going chronologically, and it's very easy to follow in that sense. And there's some delightful action. There's some delightfully nutty Cavill moments. Also some very sweet Cavill moments.
Oof.
And a very fun like father-daughter dynamic, but also kind of like
Cavill has a daughter?
No, not a daughter, but Ciri is kind of like I won't spoil it, but she is like, I don't know, she's like
a daughter figure.
16, 17, and he's Cavill. You know,
right.
Like,
ancient.
I think he is very old in it.
Conquistador.
Conquistador Dwayne kind of time. But yeah, very, very good action. And it's already they're already filming season 3, I think. Oof. So it's continuing, and I like it. It's good.
I'm heavily considering jumping on your Cavill train.
Please do. But also, no, it's very, very good.
Well, I'm also looking for a show that kind of most of the shows that I'm thinking of getting into, they're like wrapping up now, and I kind of want something that's gonna keep going. So
I'll say if you're looking for a show with like the greatest storyline, this is probably not the one.
I watch Community for that.
You watch Abed being a cowboy for that. But in terms of action and just like cinematography, very cool.
Well, I'll speed around these very quickly. The Matrix 4, very interesting first hour. Because it was very meta, and then it becomes really boring and dull, and I don't care about any of this lore, no offense.
Yeah.
Return to Hogwarts. It's the Harry Potter special.
Oh,
the reunion
right.
Special.
Where Emma Watson says she had a crush on Malfoy.
Tom Felton. I watched it with the family, because we're all big Potter heads.
we're all Gryffindors. What is your house, by the way?
Definitely Gryffindor, because I'm the protagonist. Because I am the main f***ing character.
Reveals cool scar, but instead of Flash, it is penis.
Good one.
Take that. Well, have you not done the Harry Potter online quiz to find out your house?
Like a long time ago.
I bet you're Slytherin. You just don't want to say.
I bet you could slither into the sewer, you big piece of shit. Anyway, Return to Hogwarts. It was a very delightful, fun, behind-the-scenes reunion special. It was fun to see them all together. Rupert Grint legit seems like just the chillest dude.
He does seem very nice.
And Daniel Radcliffe seems fun. And you know what I have to say, not to be mean, Emma Watson, I do not think came across very well in this special. She just has like kind of a weird vibe of like, she seems very aware that she's rich and famous, and she's like
a little bit pretentious, a little bit
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like, without like naming any names, I think this is the case for everyone, like I feel like we all know people who sort of are a bit aware, not in like a teacher's pet kind of way, but like are a bit aware that they're, pretty and or smart or good at this or whatever.
I am aware of all of these things.
And they're kind of come across a bit like self-important. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really mean. I'm sure she's great and she was fun, but no. Of the gang, I want to hang out with Rupert.
I would want to hang out with Rupert as well. He seems so chill,
dude.
He seems so chill. I will say this will probably be one of the most controversial things we've said, because I think everyone loves Emma Watson.
Yeah, no, and again, sure, she's great. I just didn't love her vibe.
Like it. I just didn't get good Rupert vibes from her.
Yeah, I didn't feel the Rupert energy. Also, there's one part where Rupert says like, "I love you," and she just doesn't say it back, and I'm like, Emma. Also, there's one part where she says kissing Rupert was the worst thing that ever happened to her, or something along those lines, which was meant to be in like a cutesy kind of way, but also feels like a weird stab in the back for Rupert.
Rupert was probably sitting there thinking about the best moment in his life, and then Emma's sitting there,
and she starts projectile vomiting halfway through the special, just thinking about it.
He's sitting there. He knows it's about to come up. He's smiling. He's blushing a little bit. He's putting a pillow over his pants, and then he's like, he smiles, looks her deep in the eyes, and she just projectile vomits. And she just. The question comes. So how was the scene kissing Rupert?
But everything else about it. Also Helena Bonham Carter, such a delightful person.
Yeah,
nutty.
Have you seen the Graham Norton interview where do you know Greg Davis, the like really tall, really funny British comedian?
I do not.
Well, he tells a lot of good stories on it. He worked with what's her name? Helena
Bonham Carter.
Helena Bonham Carter,
not Helena Bottom Carter.
But
Helena Butt Carter.
Helena Ass Carter.
really good content this year. We're really stepping up our game. I say my least favorite. I feel like we really hit our stride comedically. Helena Asgard.
It's gold, this. Apparently, he was working on a show or movie with her, and then like there in the scene, there was supposed to be like fart noises coming from like offset that was supposed to like be part of the scene. But then the fart noises became so like frequent that he had to stop the scene and was like, "Yo, guys, can we comment a little bit?" And it turns out it was just Helena Asgard farting for real.
God. Yeah, she just seems like a really
like just
delightful,
like down to earth person,
prankster kind of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, it's a really delightful special. And then don't look up.
I've seen half of this. Don't spoil.
Okay, I won't spoil.
I've gotten to the part where Jennifer Lawrence has gotten another bag put over her head and is driven away.
Okay, I think it was a good film.
Very weird.
Yeah, very weird, and also I just don't really enjoy it that much because it's a very obvious political allegory, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's not that it isn't clever, but it's so just
it can be very on the nose at points,
and it's also just because like it's like, look, isn't this ridiculous and terrible, and it's like, yeah, it is, and that was like real life and currently kind of is, and it's like all the social commentary of like, look, people just. This is about to get so political in here.
Okay, let's hear it. A BHL political rant?
But no, I'm just saying, like,
Kanye should have been president.
The way they're like, and people just don't believe stuff that, like, even though it's real, like, just because they don't want to. And it's all this stuff that's, like, depressing, and they're kind of... It would be more funny if that wasn't kind of what is happening in the real world. It's just kind of like saying, like, look, this is a thing that happens. They're like, yeah.
Because it's supposed to be, like, very... absurd and Kafkaesque, but it is also just kind of what's like, going on.
Yeah, rumbly tum.
He's back.
Can we get a counter?
But can we get a rumble tum counter?
It just sort of like it was a bit depressing almost, where it was like, look at how ridiculous this is, and I was like, yeah, but that's been like the real world for like several years, and it's like, and it wasn't super funny, like Jonah Hill and Meryl Streep just being like rude and terrible. It's like
I laughed a bit at Jonah's.
Yeah, Jonah's a little nutty
at points, but like at the same time, I was like, okay.
Have you seen it's not a spoiler, but have you seen the bit where Jonah's like, do you want to come to the meeting? She's like,
oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
I see that. I did laugh quite a bit at that Jonah moment.
I think, without spoiling it, like, I think it gets more interesting in the second half. Okay. And I think the ending is quite good. But overall, it was a little bit like, I don't know, not as interesting as I guess I was expecting, and a bit sort of depressing.
I can see that.
But it does have its moments, and it has great performances. DiCaprio's great. Do you have any more?
I don't think I've got any
Lamorne Moores.
I mean, I've been watching. Ooh,
I love that show.
Freddy's Anime Hour. Cue the intro. I've been watching a show called Fire Force. About, I might have talked about it before, but basically it's this kind of like dystopian world where at any point, at any time, humans can just combust and turn into infernal. I just die. Human combustion. Don't laugh. They turn into like fiery infernals, and then there's this like police force or / military called the Fire Force that have to put these infernals to rest. But then there's sometimes man-made infernals, and it's a whole thing.
Do infernals like? Are they just on fire, or do they do something?
They're basically just like fire zombies.
So they become like
problem. Yeah.
Because the way you describe it, just imagine someone just bursts into flame, and then just people kind of keep walking on the street. And then
Well,
I was like, that's just called the fire department, my guy. Just someone who puts out people who are on fire.
So like you've ruined this.
So it's like they become like monstrous.
Yeah, kind of. And then
problems.
But then there's and then there's some people who are third and second generation pyrokinetics. Are people who've undergone some changes, but then instead of becoming infernals, they get like fire powers. So the main guy, he can like shoot like flames at his feet, so he can like fly and stuff like that. Very cool show, very very chill, very fun. Great intro as well, and just a fun time.
I have to say, yeah, anime
sucks.
is lame. Whenever you describe them, because through you I've heard thousands of premises of anime. I don't know what the plural is, but I have to say they do have like quite quite interesting premises.
There are
And,
some
like,
interesting premises.
also, one day, I mean, you could 100% just make something up. I feel like one day you should just come with a completely just thing that doesn't exist. And I go, that sounds really interesting.
We could do a thing where I give you 5, and then one of them's going to be fake.
That is way too many. You think I have the patience? Get out, fool.
2 then.
Okay, I like that. That's
And you have
better.
to guess which one's the real one. Anyways. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. No. Never mind.
Well.
Brilliant way to end that.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we got a speed. Are you ready to speed round some news?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Well, I honestly think the main thing I want to talk about here is the Dwayne stuff and the Death on the Nile trailer.
Okay. I have not seen the Death on the Nile trailer.
Live react? Question mark?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, first of all, the Patman trailer 3.
The one thing I want to talk about is Death on the Nile. So let's talk about the Patman trailer.
We've seen a bunch of trailers already. Like,
Yeah.
it's nothing new, but it looks amazing.
It looks very, very good.
No Way Home made $1 billion. Congrats.
You think it'll make more?
Well, it's made like 1.3.
1.3. Damn.
So, and if it wasn't a pandemic year, probably would have made like 1.7 or something, maybe. Who knows? That's a number I just pulled out of my ass, but whatever.
But sounds realistic.
Also, it had the second biggest opening ever after Endgame, and it's during pandemic times. So
that is
pretty impressive.
I called it with the people I watched it with. I was like, this is gonna be like the 3rd, 4th highest grossing Marvel movie ever. And they're like, nah.
It's current. I think it's currently at that or like approaching it. So big win for Dalgard.
Big win for my podcasting abilities.
Uncharted trailer 2. You know, it's
I'm excited for it.
Young
It's-
Holland.
Young Holland. You say it 3 times, he just appears.
It's a new sea shanty. Michael Keaton.
Young Holland.
Michael Keaton is going to be in the Batgirl movie. I guess he's back in some capacity because he's back in Flash.
I thought you said, I guess he's Batgirl. How wrong would that be? Him in spandex.
70-year-old Keaton to be this new character. It's never addressed. All the other characters are like what they're supposed to be. It's just Keaton. And speaking of which, Michael Shannon and... Okay, let's not read out what I wrote in the note here, but I couldn't remember her name. I wrote Michael Shannon and his girl henchman added to the Flash cast.
Who's Michael Shannon?
What's your problem with that? He's Zod in Man of Steel.
Okay.
And his girl henchman, whose name I couldn't remember.
Isn't it like Zazu?
They've been added to the Flash cast, so it's going to have Keaton, it's going to have Affleck, it's going to have Zod and his friend.
But I thought Zod died.
Yeah, well, it's all about time travel and dimensions and whatever.
They can do anything with this multi-universe time traveling bullshit.
Yeah.
No reins.
Avatar 2 is going to have whatever, I don't care. The Northman trailer looks pretty good. Jurassic World Dominion.
I'm really excited for Avatar 2, you know.
Yeah, well, it's going to have their adopted human son or whatever.
And it's going to be underwater or something?
Maybe, who knows. John Wick 4 release date moved by a year. Sad times.
What?
Yeah. It was supposed to come out this year. It's coming out next year. Yep. Doctor Strange 2 trailer. We kind of talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
It has Wong.
It has Wong.
It's
got
Chiwetel Ejiofor. And it has Evil Doctor Strange from What If. And also a big tentacle monster. Long time since we saw one of those in the MCU. I can't actually remember when the last time was. Probably in What If. Now, Death on the Nile live react.
Whew, I'm excited.
All right, let's turn this off. Did you hear about Armie Hammer's cannibal thing?
What?
Anyway, let's go.
He's a cannibal?
Well, there was a thing, alleged, he likes to, like, drink people's blood, and he sent some messages about, like, I want to eat your brains or whatever. Look into it sometime. I don't know if it's real or legit. I'm pretty sure we talked about it.
Armie Hammer.
There he is.
Oh my god.
Doyle.
Oh, was it double-pronged before?
Oh my god. I think he might have
He's changed his stash.
extra pronged it. Also, we're going to go on mute for a really good react, but also for copyright purposes.
I see.
So we'll just narrate what's happening.
Karnak?
It's going to be a great trailer.
Oh, yeah,
react.
I love what's going on
Okay,
here.
Poirot's being told there's been a murder. There's going to be a murder, maybe. And then suddenly, there's a murder.
Is that the girl from Sex Education?
It is. And also Letitia Wright, big scandalous
Letitia
person.
wrong.
Oh!
What? She's wrong for what she's doing. Am I right?
So they...
Was that Poirot's body that we're killing?
Yeah.
Also, who's been murdered?
I don't know. I still can't figure that out. Because I thought it was Armie Hammer, but then he shows up later. So it's maybe not Armie Hammer.
Unless it is. And he's just
It's just that
time
good.
traveling.
I mean, you get it's basically them saying like, we're all everyone's a suspect.
They can't do the same thing they did last time.
Also, that is the worst haircut in the history of cinema. Not that one. That one. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
That is a woman's Lego hair right there.
Yeah. Anyway, lots of craziness. So murder was just the beginning.
The day before my birthday, this comes out.
Let's go. Ooh. So exciting stuff. Poirot. He says a line at the end of this. We have to, in the spirit of the best detective in the world.
Okay.
We have to hear what he says.
Shoots himself. Shot himself. The murderer is right in front of you.
All right, and finally we have the big Dwayne drama. Whoa!
Scooped us in.
Set off the drama alarm.
You should run a drama podcast.
I basically do.
A lot of drama comes from this.
So Dwayne Johnson accuses Vin Diesel of manipulation. Says we'll never come back to the Fast and Furious franchise.
So what's he said?
So I read the article. I took actual time out of my day to read Dwayne's words.
That's a first.
It was basically saying that they had discussed privately, man to man, that he would not return to the franchise. And then he feels like Vin, maybe I'm like getting the wrong impression, but from what I got, he felt that Vin putting out this public post then after
kind of added needless or
pressure,
unfair
and
pressure,
like trying to put like the public almost against him.
Dwayne, yeah.
And he said it was manipulative to involve his son and his children and Paul Walker. And he also saw on Twitter someone mention in that post, we mentioned in the pod, it looks like it's a weirdly compressed image, but when you look at it, Vin Diesel has just been photoshopped to look a bit bigger than Dwayne, which is the most absurd. Let me see if I can find it.
That's so strange.
Oh Jesus, sorry, I thought our burger was here. It's just some stupid girl texting me. Thought it was important.
Thought it was my grub.
So yeah, because I thought it was just a weirdly compressed image, but apparently he's slightly and awkwardly photoshopped to be a little bit bigger than Dwayne.
Let's see here.
So Dwayne is actually normal, but Vin is just slightly stretched out.
Oh my, slightly stretched out. Vin's head is huge.
Very disturbing, right? And so Dwayne says he will never come back.
Well, can I just say, I hate to pick sides in celebrity scandals, but I'm 100% with Dwayne on this.
I love to do it, and Dwayne for life.
Well, like, not even because Dwayne's our boy.
Yeah.
But it does seem like a bit of a dick move from Diesel. I will not lie.
Why? Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe Dwayne lies, but also I can't imagine Dwayne lying about this.
I can't imagine Dwayne lying at all. Like, he seems like a very...
Diesel seems like a bit of a weird, chaotic man. He'll just do stuff for the sake of it.
Like,
how do you think all of his movies? How do you think all of his movies get made? Like, I don't know.
I feel like he's realizing that the franchise is not nearly as good without him in it, without Dwayne in it, and now he's like doing a last desperate ploy to get him back.
So, big Dwayne facts being spoken. We're with you, Dwayne, I guess. Anyway. But it's sad that he won't come back to the franchise.
It is sad. It's sad for the franchise, but it's...
That last movie sucked.
I haven't seen it, but for personal reasons with Dwayne, I think it's the right choice.
But as a good friend of Mr. Johnson, I want him to do it. Now it's time for...
The Timecodes.
Alright, so we have some big beef. Jamie Dornan calls out...
Jamie Dornan
calls out assumptions over Tom Cruise performing stunts. So I thought this was an epic Dornan versus Cruise beef.
No.
But apparently not. He just says something that's not really... He just says...
I was going to say, I could not imagine Dornan being beefed with.
No, which is what I was hoping for, because that'd be some juicy Tom Cruise. He says, this is what he said. At the risk of sounding like Tom Cruise, I do like to be involved as much as I can in all the stunt stuff. But there's a line sometimes where they just won't. The actor later added, there is a fucking line. So we had a line, obviously, but I will do everything up to that line.
Sounds like he's talking about his cocaine usage.
There is a fucking line.
So we had a line, obviously.
Because it's fun and I enjoy it. While my body just about still works, I will do anything. So he just says the name Tom Cruise. He doesn't say anything about Tom Cruise. He just...
Well, you know, just the mere mention of Tom Cruise is worth of the Tom Cnews.
True. As we've established many times. So, yeah. Also, Jamie Dornan... Not confirmed cocaine user. Just want to put that out there.
But not confirmed.
Technically, he hasn't proved that he's never done it.
Unless he has, in which case,
sorry.
In which case, don't sue us. Imagine getting sued by Jamie Dornan,
That'd be kind
a man who's famously pooed in a bathtub.
What? What?
Not even a lie.
That'll get us sued.
No, it's true.
I thought you were gonna say like a man who had ice cream licked off of his belly button. A man who famously pooed in a bathtub.
He did.
In what context? Was it full of water?
No. So basically, he was younger. Like he was like in his teenage years, and then he was prone to sleepwalking
And sleep pooing in bathtubs.
and then basically. So he went to sleep, and then he woke up with his dad sitting on his bed looking at him, and then he was like, "Morning, Jamie," and he was like, "Morning. Did you sleepwalk last night?" He was like, "No, I don't know. I don't know if I did." He's like, "Well, someone's done a poo in the bath." And then by process of elimination, it had to be Jamie.
Well, duh. 2 people in one house. I didn't take a shit.
Well, I was awake all night.
Not pooing.
Not pooing in the
Pooing
bathtub.
specifically in the toilet. God. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
well,
little Jamie scoop there, literally, because I had to scoop it probably.
why would you do that? Well, good for him, I guess. No, let's
I don't know.
We've all been there, right?
I mean, it's not abnormal.
Okay, it's the Tom Cnews for this week.
Was Jamie Dornan
himself. Now it's time for the announcements and such, which we're not going to record now because our grub is here soon, and we don't.
We will record it in a few days.
Yeah, let's say that. Why not? Also,
Well, we'll have to.
Yeah, literally have no choice. Also, I'm pretty tired, so.
Also, I don't hate podcast.
So this sucks. So here are the announcements and such recorded in 2 days from now. Hey, so funny story about the announcements and such. They don't exist this week because Freddy. Well, okay, let me be fair. Freddy's computer has screwed the integrity of the podcast. So next week we will have the announcements we recorded for this week and next week's announcements. I know it's incredible. You can't even contain your excitement and or confusion. Yeah, Freddy's computer had some problems, so he couldn't send me his recording. So no announcements this week, and they were actually pretty good announcements. I'm not gonna lie, we had some cool stuff, but that recording in itself will be there next week. Rest assured, I know this is the most beloved segment of the entire pod. So, don't worry, it'll be there next week. Not this week, because Freddy's computer sucks, and also, in a way, Freddy sucks, if you think about it. Not really, I'm kidding. No Freddy slander this time. But yeah, back to the pod.
Oh my god, can't believe that by doing his own stunts, he meant pooing on Tom Cruise.
Can't believe that's the most dangerous stunt of all.
It probably would be, you know. You jest, but I genuinely think that would get multiple men killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Becomes yodeler.
Anyway, yeah, good start to the pod this year. The first Tom Cnews is Tom Cruise getting on by Jamie Dornan.
It's getting on. It's getting absolutely pooed on.
Jesus. So, thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. Happy New Year.
You can find me on Twitter at FDK_DaltSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard. And you can find me on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Jimmy Poos.